I have learned, and I may have always known, but I've learned specifically this time, or this year, this go around, I am a horrible gift receiver.
Oh, I've got a story.
I'm not good at it, dude. I don't know what to do. I feel like when I try to take sexy pictures of my wife, like, what do I do with my hands? Like, I feel like that, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm intended to react a certain way. There's an expectation that I will react a certain way, but I don't know how to act.
Do you want to hear my
Please.
part of my nerd week? This was this. Can you turn me up in my headphones just a little bit?
Yeah, turn you up.
There we go. So, Kelly and I, here's the hard thing, and you're the same way.
Uh-huh.
And by the way,
Farrell's with us
Farrell's
today.
with us today.
And
Hi.
Joey is not. Joey's on assignment.
So, my wife and I, we normally just buy what we want for each other.
Sure.
So we're both incredibly hard to buy gifts for. I mean, you're probably the same to an extent.
I would imagine so, yeah.
So I had gotten her like one little thing from the kids, and we hadn't really talked about getting each other gifts. And I find out she had bought me something, and I asked around the house and found out, it's great. It's pretty, it was like $200 something. I think.
Oh, wow.
I think you'll like it, but everybody will like it. I'm like, okay, cool. So, present time comes and we're opening our gifts and like, well, have Dad open the big one. Okay. So the first thing my wife gave me was a travel bidet, which I was pretty excited about.
Were you really?
Big bidet fan over here. Life changing. I'm telling you guys.
Yeah.
I've never felt cleaner in my life.
Sure.
How portable is it?
So you know that thing like when you're sucking the snot out of your kid's nose, that blue bulb?
Oh, yeah.
And
like,
if you really think about it, it's like, you never clean this. It's generally shaped like that, but it's bigger. I'm not real sure how my hand's going to get underneath anywhere to use it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can use it when I travel and stuff. I'll figure it out. Worst case, I'll do it in the fucking shower if I need to, right?
Oh, gross.
Just like Andre the Giant shitting in bathtubs, right? So we're opening our gifts, and they're like, open this big one. And I open it, and I'll be honest with you, it's the brand on it I've never heard of. I have no idea what's in the box. Gives me no idea what it is. But I open it, and it's a bidet. It's like a heated seat, heated water, changeable. It's got 16 switches for the bitches in the hood. I mean, it is kitted out.
Uh-huh.
But I don't have the reaction she's looking for. Like, I don't know what you wanted me, because I was like, okay, well, it could be a pizza oven. It could be a computer. I mean, it could have been. It was a big, heavy box.
Right.
I got a toilet seat for Christmas, guys.
Would it have been better if you just immediately was like, I have to shit?
Like, let's go hook it up right now. And you have to plug it in. It has an outlet. You have to plug it in.
Oh, like electricity.
Yeah.
That kind of plug-in in. Not like a Glade plug-in.
Well, like I would imagine you'd have to connect to the water line.
That too.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you.
Nightmare.
It got set to the side. I was just holding it. So I just put it over here. Well, the next morning, it's not there. I'm like, she must have gotten the gist of, I don't. So I went out like the next day. I didn't say anything about it either. I just went on. The next day, I go outside to do something in the garage with the laser, and there it sits. She'd put it up there. So I'm Googling this thing because I knew what it was generically. So I'm like, this is a lot of bells and whistles here. So I was like, hey, are you going to install the toilet or the bidet? And she's like, I said, does this come with free installation? She's like, yeah, I'll hook it up. I thought you didn't want it. I'm like, I don't mind getting a bidet. I was like, I think it'll be good. I think we'll both use it. And she said, well, you just didn't seem like you wanted it. I was like, I mean, it was a toilet seat for a gift. She's like, I put a lot of thought. I probably spent 3 days. I'm like, I appreciate that. But you gave me a toilet seat for a Christmas gift. Now, granted, I gave her a robe, which she returned because it didn't fit, which is fine. And a heated blanket, which she has used every day since then.
1 for 2.
So I had
it's just like, I felt so weird about it.
Somewhat of a similar experience, but for between birthday and Christmas. So on Christmas Day, I got from my wife and kids, I got like an orange juicer for crushes,
Right.
but
Turn it up.
But so here's the thing. I already have a juicer. that works great.
I have a bidet that works great.
So that's kind of my thing is like, I'm confused a little bit, like I'm like, why would you do this? Like, and it was like $200 and some, and it's like, I don't want you, look, I say this all the time, but I don't want for much. If I like it, if I see it, I like it, I buy it.
And most of the time, I don't even talk to anybody about because I'm on my head about it. I'm like, I'm just going to buy this. It's like, I want that rogue statue, but I want it for Christmas, and good luck trying to find it. Right? I don't want to put anybody through that. I don't want to give you this impossible task.
So there was one thing that I actually did want. Didn't get anywhere near that bad boy. In fact, they had to break it down for me beforehand because I said something like that I might be expecting it, and they're like, "Look, do not expect it. It's not coming."
Well, what was the impossible item?
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have new pad control buttons.
But like, so the same way I had to tell Selena, I was like, look, you're not getting a phone. I need you to understand this because I don't want you to wake up disappointed on Christmas Day. Like, you are not getting a phone. At the earliest you'll get is next year for Christmas, and that's only if I really trust you. But you're not getting a phone this year. So Jana was actually like, you remember that conversation that you had with Selena? Same for this book that you want.
Oh, it's a book.
Yeah, you're not getting it. And I was like, okay. So at least my expectations were curved. But had I been expecting that book and I popped up with that juicer, I'd have been fucking feeling away about that shit. But it was just like, and I'm appreciative. I know, and it's thoughtful, like, because I like to drink. But like,
I mean, I don't like the shit, but I do.
right.
And it's going to be more pleasant now.
I actually enjoy shitting.
Yeah. So the other things that I got, was a bunch of hats.
But you don't wear hats.
So
He wears some hats.
I wear beanies.
Okay, that's.
And I can imagine that there's times when he goes out with like little.
Well, yeah, but like you don't wear ball caps ever.
I have one cap that's cut like that. Because my head, yeah, 5
Me
panel.
too. Like
my head's
I feel
cut
like
funny.
the hat's this. I feel like I'm a fucking wearing a Abraham Lincoln hat when I wear like a fucking like a New Era 5160.
If it was fashionable enough,
50.
I can see Bobby wearing a top hat like that.
Yeah, I'd have to be with a suit. We couldn't just be walking around.
With your from New York,
with your Ameri sweatshirt,
Yeah.
and your helmet length pants or whatever, and your Louis Vuitton shoes and a fucking top hat.
Yes. So I was like
Slash.
So I really liked the hats that I got. They were nice hats, and I actually needed some hats, some beanie hats for the weather and so forth. But then, like, when my wife, like the next day, people were like, "What'd you get for Christmas?" Like, I think it was at my birthday get together. People were like, "What'd you get for Christmas?" And I was like, "I got some hats." My wife was like, "It doesn't sound good." I said, "Like, I just got some hats." But I actually did appreciate those. I mean, I appreciated all of it. But we're returning the juicer. I was like, "This is $200." Like, I had like the one where you had to like hold your hand, like you had to hold pressure on it. But it works fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. It's not like I'm not at a point where I'm so lazy where I can't just hold an orange down for fucking 5 seconds to get the goddamn juice out of it. So, but I have noticed that people like often want me to have some sort of grand reaction, and I'm not really like that way. Even if I'm really
I want to
into
say
it.
that I've probably broken more hearts on Christmas on accident than I can probably fairly mention, because I'm just like, oh, thanks.
Even if I'm into it, I'm just not like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, wow. I'm
on a cracker.
Yeah. You can put it on some too.
I will say we bought, Mason got a $400 tattoo for Christmas. And my daughter got like a $400 haircut treatment dye salon thing. And Charlie got $400 worth of computer stuff. So we weren't supposed to have a lot to open anyway.
Right.
But of course, we ended up buying them a bunch of crap, but we didn't have a ton of gifts like we normally do. So Kelly got a 20-sided die, whatever. And it's like, all right, we're going to roll. Whoever rolls the highest, you get to either give a gift or open a gift. And surprisingly enough, my kids all gave gifts.
That's cool.
But next year we're going to, We're going to make it really complicated where you have to roll, and then you have a secondary die that you roll that gives you more directions. And
to turn into an actual board game.
You're just playing D&D.
we're playing D&D with Christmas presents, but it was fun. Everybody enjoyed it, and it makes it last longer.
Like return 3 gifts.
We've do you guys do the let the slaughter begin Christmas? Or
yes.
Okay, so we've always just like, hey, open your juicer, Bobby, and I open my toilet seat and. Farrell, what did you get? Any home appliances for Christmas?
Nobody got some socks.
I got socks.
There's nothing wrong with that. I will say during the conversation with my wife, she said, "Is this like if you gave me a vacuum cleaner for Christmas?" I said, "That's exactly it." She's like, "But I'd love a vacuum cleaner for Christmas." I said, "That's the difference between me and you." Like, if you want to give me something, just ask me, and I'll give you a list of some stuff.
I don't want to sound unappreciative, because
no, never. And I appreciate the time you should put into it.
It's just like I just would rather you not buy me anything than buy me some shit I don't need.
Well, like the gifts that I always like are ones where it makes me feel like the other person thought about me
in my butthole
and knows about me, and way less about the. How nice the gift is.
The function.
Right, so.
Yeah. No,
I got a bunch of hot dog themed socks.
It's on brand.
Which I'm wearing right now, one pair.
It's on brand.
I'm wearing them.
I'm wearing all of them right now. I'm wearing every single pair.
Yeah, and then my parents gave me a Hawaiian shirt.
Mm-hmm. You do like a Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, but they messed that up.
Oh, did they?
They got like skulls on it, and I'm like, no.
Oh, man.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool, but that's not me.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll re-gift it to you.
Yeah, I'll pretend that.
Yeah, you could be like, whoa, I can wear this on my torso.
You're not going to get a great reaction either way, so it's like, why not? But yeah, so anyway, with that, Farrell, you don't get to have guest privileges anymore. So that's got your coffee first. Chris, how was your nerd week?
Oh, hey, it's been a couple weeks since I've been on.
Yeah, it's true.
I missed last week. No, we took a week off.
We did take a week off, and then you missed the week before.
That's right.
Or something like that, or 2 weeks.
Hopefully these stories all line up. So been a hectic couple weeks. I'll start with, I believe last time we recorded, Charlie was going to the hospital that day. Let me frame this up correctly. Charlie's my youngest. He's 11. He has an incredibly bad case of Crohn's. Anybody doesn't know what Crohn's is, I'll let you look it up. But basically, you start shitting blood at a certain point. He's been on every medicine, almost every medicine. And they only work for a certain amount of time and they stop working. And you have to do an infusion drip basically to start most of these treatments. You have to go in and get the treatment. So they take him, he goes in Wednesday night. I had wrestling tickets Wednesday night.
Oh, that's right.
And here's the deal. I kind of, in telling this story, I have a feeling people are going to be like, you're such an asshole.
I think you went to wrestling.
I went to wrestling. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you.
No need for all of us to suffer.
There truly isn't. Well, one, this was a planned trip to the hospital. This wasn't like, oh my God, he's got to go to the. This is just part of our life.
And it's a chronic illness.
It's a chronic illness that he's going to unfortunately deal with the rest of his life. He's on steroids too, which has got him
jacked.
He's huge. I mean, now the kid.
Just kidding.
Well, no. I mean, he's put on he wears Kelly had to buy him extra large t-shirts. He's just a big kid. I mean, he comes by it naturally, honestly, but
Crohn's is an autoimmune disease.
It is. Yeah. And he's had issues with other stuff.
I thought I had it once, but it was just a hemorrhoid.
Oh, fair. So Kelly goes to the way we have to deny, defend, oppose the situation is you go to the emergency room and they put you in a room, but the doctors know you're coming. But unfortunately, it was just batshit crazy, and they were in there for like 3 hours waiting on a room and had to stay like in a triage kind of place the first night. The second night, past that, I swear,
second night
they were there till Sunday.
Damn.
But they got the corner fucking suite of hospital rooms. I've never seen a hospital room. It was a corner suite, literally. Full couch, full chair. So my wife can fit on that furniture and sleep, as best as you can sleep in a hospital.
Is this why my health insurance is $2,000 a month?
It might be, buddy. So let me pause. Let me just finish that part of the story. We go on on Friday to visit me and the other two kids. We go up there and have dinner with them. And I mean, there's really nothing to do. I mean, Charlie's pretty comfortable at this point. He's got his, his color leaves his face pretty bad when he gets really bad. So we call it ET. He looks like ET. So his color's back. He's bebopping around. We were able to go down to like the little pizzeria and good, bad, and otherwise, John Hopkins is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, they really have their shit together.
Especially with peds.
Pets? Pediatrics.
I understand what it means. So,
sorry. Especially with pediatrics.
Performance enhancing drug?
Yes.
Is that wise? No. But so we get up there and, get up to the room and whatever. And they've added like 2 more layers of security there since the last time I've been there. Like you have to walk through a scanner and like I brought a rolling bag just for change of clothes and I had to open it up and like, I don't know what people think. We get up there and I like walk down to
how great would it have been if you took your bidet and they're like, what is this?
It's a bidet. I'm hooking it up to the toilet. So I'm walking, like Kelly and I go to get coffee and there's like this security guard like sitting like right in front of this door to a room. I was like, what's going on down there? She's like, oh, they was getting buck. Like mama brought the kid in and daddy comes up there and they're not together and they like get in this huge shot. He's like, Kelly's like, we could hear it in our room. So the security guard get posted there. Anyways,
drama.
Yeah, got that done. They got home on Sunday. But so here's the deal with wrestling. I have a friend who works for AEW that I went to high school with. And last time I went, he's like, let me know when we're coming to town. I'll get you some tickets. I'm like, cool. So I pressed the favor and he's like, yeah, they're at will call. I'm like, all right. At that point, I'm like, oh, I really, really feel like an ass if I didn't go.
Right.
And there's nothing I can do at the hospital of any value. So I go. I asked a couple people if they wanted to go. Nobody wanted to go.
Yeah.
I was on the front fucking row, like right lined up with the post. It was fantastic. It was the best wrestling. I think it's the second best wrestling show I've ever been to live. The first one was like 1997 Raw with DX and Stone Cold on the second row. You can't beat that, but it's phenomenal. The matches are great. Sitting right there,
that's awesome.
It was fantastic. It was so lonely.
Did you allow the seat to stay vacant?
So, what I've learned about, I don't know how all major wrestling promotions work, but they have a hard cam, right? So it's the camera that shoots the ring most of the time. So we're underneath the hard cam. And last time we went, I bought tickets in the third row in that spot that just randomly popped up like 3 days before the show for like $150 for floor seats, which is really good because most people try to juice you for like $400 for them. So we grabbed a couple, and that's where I saw my buddy. But I got to looking around. This is where the comps sit. This is all the families of the wrestlers and things of that nature. So I think what happened that time is nobody wanted the comps, so they just sold that row. So it was some of the same people, some of the same crowd. It was total chaos. Like people coming and going, like, hey, so-and-so wants to slide in to see their family wants to see this so-and-so wrestle. Yeah, whatever. But it was an amazing show. I mean, it was top, probably even second favorite wrestling show I've ever been to live. Even by myself, it was fun. I made friends with some people and cracking jokes and stuff. But yeah, came home from that. The day before, I had gone and gotten cortisone injections in my knees. So it probably wasn't a great idea the next day to walk all that distance. And I was definitely feeling it on Thursday. Right. They do feel better today, finally. But on the way home, I'm in lowly Mount Airy, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I get pulled over.
You get pulled over?
I get pulled over. So, like, right as you come out of the civilized part of Mount Airy, there's a hill that drops down, and he was, right before Watkins Park, he was sitting right there, and he got me. He's like, hey, you're doing 16 to 50. I'm like, oh, sorry.
He said you're what?
I was doing 16 to 50.
16 to 50.
At 1 in the morning. Where they've already got the traffic lights turned off in Mount Airy.
Right.
It's just flashing.
Right.
So he pulls me over. He's like, oh, where are you coming from? I was like, oh, I've been in DC at a show, whatever. He's like, you been drinking tonight? I was like, no. When's the last time you had something to drink? I said, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. Why? He said, it smells like alcohol. I was like, buddy, the only thing I got in here is an old McDonald's bag. I don't know if that's what you're smelling. He's like, did you spill something? Like, no, I don't drink like that, dude.
You don't.
And he gave me a warning, but I'm just like, what?
A warning for the speeding?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Smelling like booze.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give you a warning for smelling like alcohol.
Yeah. Do better about your hygiene.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting. But, you know, there was a ton of wrestling on TV this week. They were at Hammerstein Ballroom, is a famous venue, and it's in the Manhattan Center in New York. I actually went there a couple years ago for a show, but AEW ran 3 nights there. I watched all of it. Fucking fantastic. And they had a pay-per-view. AEW had their World's End pay-per-view Saturday, and some of that, like Okada and Ospreay had probably the match of the year candidate. I know that means nothing to you guys, but
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the cheese that goes on a nice lasagna.
which one?
Okada.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like that wet cheese, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
I
stuff.
don't think that's it. Great time to be a wrestling fan. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it seems that way.
They had a female WW what is it E on Christmas Day on the Netflix football games on the pre-show.
I'm trying to think of who it would have been, because
She had a belt.
that doesn't really narrow it down.
Yeah.
There's 28 belts. Is it a little blonde girl?
She could have had blonde hair. Yes.
It's probably Liv Morgan. Yeah. So, just speaking of wrestling, I'm interested to see how this plays out. Starting next Monday, WWE Monday Night Raw is on Netflix.
Yeah, and that's what they were promoting.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I
So-
do remember saying that.
You know, nobody knows how long the show is going to be. You know, historically, wrestling normally runs 5 or 6 minutes over to get the main event out. But you know, there's nobody to tell them to stop. I'm just wondering what these shows are going to look like and how graphic they're going to
Well,
be.
and also the issues Netflix has had with streaming. So
Right.
they had
Tyson
this
fight.
Tyson fight
Listen.
that was garbage.
If WWE can pull 60 million viewers for wrestling and it crashes, good on them.
Well, I was just saying. So, but the football broadcast
Oh, so how's that been?
was actually fine.
Okay, that's because 60 million people aren't trying to watch it.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
I don't know how many people are watching on Christmas Day for football.
well, true. I will say that they said that they're not concerned with it. I'm interested to see how that goes too, because you know, streaming and live events has been going on for quite a while. Amazon does it every week. I've never seen a problem with the football there or anything else I've watched there. So I'm interested to see where it goes. And also AEW, starting Wednesday on the 1st, will be simulcast on TNT/TBS and live streaming on Max.
Oh shit!
So we're moving into a new era.
Are they bringing all their normal broadcasters over
Which one?
for Raw?
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause that's the thing that the Netflix football, they brought their new commentators in.
yeah.
Garbage.
Right. I can see that. So yeah, WWE has Michael Cole has literally been there for 27 years, and he bounces between SmackDown, which is on Fridays, and now it's on USA, and Raw, which is like the flagship show. And I think they're bringing him back to Raw. But there's a whole cast of characters they have. Joe Tessitore is a guy they have. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
He does commentate for WWE now,
Okay.
which is crazy to me because that tells me it's all being fed to him through his headset, because I seriously doubt this guy knows, you know, that what college so-and-so went to do collegiate wrestling. So
Yeah.
a lot of exciting things happening in wrestling. I know we have a couple of wrestling fans.
Yeah,
on here.
sure.
Let's see. Oh, hey, Farrell, since Joey's not here, you get the good ones. Did you hear what the Spiders' New Year's resolution was?
No.
To spend less time on the web.
It is an addiction.
I watched some movies.
Did you? I did too.
I watched Barbie.
I did not.
Actually watched it with my daughter, which is unheard of.
How was it?
It's like, it's fine. Yeah. It's super meta. Like, you're in on the joke.
Right.
And it's a lot of clever things in it, but it's a very girl power movie, which I don't know what else I would expect it to be.
Yeah, it probably should be.
But you know, the way
You can be a doctor. You can be.
I do like that they have all these different Barbies, and like, I don't remember the girl's name, the blonde-headed girl from Saturday Night Live. She plays like the Barbie whose hair's been cut and she's got all this crazy makeup, but she's like the one who knows everything's going on. She's like, I can tell you how to do this.
They're my favorite.
It's actually funny. So So Ken and Barbie end up in the real world, and Ken ends up, I don't remember how it happens. He basically takes toxic masculinity back to the Barbie world.
I kind of like that.
I kind of like that too.
And they try to take over the bar. Like they moved into all the dream houses and are having these wild parties because he started out wanting just to know about horses and how horses are masculine. Thought horses were how you were masculine. So everybody had horses in cowboy outfits, of course, with fringe and shit.
Right.
And then they have monster trucks, and it turns into like a Jersey Shore kind of scene. But of course, they fix it. It was cute. Nice. I could see why it did as well as it did. I watched Red One. The Christmas movie with The Rock in it.
Oh yeah, where it's like a action.
It is. So basically, Santa gets kidnapped, and
there's a polar bear.
There's a polar bear that talks and stuff. It was. I was really confused because I thought it had released in the theater, and then
I thought so too.
It was on Amazon like 2 days later. Maybe it was some limited release or something. It was fine. Yeah. It's not going to go on my top 10 Christmas list. Like Charlie wanted to watch it, and then it came time to watch it. He's like, I really don't want to watch it. I wanted to watch it last night, but tonight I have a tournament I'm playing in. So
wait, is
me and Kelly said,
is this like in the big house?
What's that?
Like they kidnap, like, or was that last year's Christmas action movie?
I don't know. This one is it's the guy who plays. Is J.K. Simmons? Is that his name? The guy who plays like J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, he's Santa Claus, right?
Yeah, he's Santa, and it's a different type. I mean, he's like this wiry, buff guy who does like parkour between the houses, and it makes it. And actually, all these people can size morph. Like they can get little to go down chimneys. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
How's he get in the house without chimneys? Oh, he goes through the air ducts. I'm like, great. So he's the one.
So this is the one. The one you watched is from this year. There was one similar last year, an action.
What was it called?
I can't remember, but it was like
Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Oh.
No, it wasn't that one.
So Santa wasn't, he was just involved in a gun battle, but he wasn't kidnapped. He went down.
I think that
chimney.
was Silent Night, Deadly Night, wasn't it?
And I actually enjoyed that one last year. I was just watching it just to what else?
I don't think I've seen either. But
on a Tuesday night, and then Santa's like fucking dudes up with an AK.
I think the polar bear looked cool in this one, but I The Rock was in it, so I kind of curbed my expectations.
Your enthusiasm, so to speak. Mm-hmm. What if Rock the Dwayne Johnson had been a reoccurring character on Curb?
That would have been something else.
It would have been.
You know what's funny is like, because I don't think I like one movie with him in it.
Not even one.
I don't.
What about Black Adam?
Yeah.
I'm trying. So, and you don't like the Fast franchise? No. Phil, I need your hard opinion. What's your opinion on the Fast franchise? We're talking about 11 films.
I think the
so far.
Best scene.
So far.
We're not done.
The best scene in it was when he actually drove his vehicle into a tree.
Fucking terrible.
All right, starting off great here.
So I'm looking at the Rock filmography. Red One, Moana. So I like Moana.
Yeah.
The animated
the
one.
Live action one.
Let's see. Red Notice, Black Adam, Jumanji, no. Baywatch, Fast X, Tooth Fairy, The Game Plan, San Andreas, Fast 5, Jungle Cruise, Fast and the Furious, Rampage, Skyscraper, Hercules, Smashing Machine, The Rundown, Journey 2.
The Rundown was really good.
So I've heard that.
It's old now, but
Fast and the Furious, Walking Tall.
That was good.
So I don't think I like that one. Fast X, Red Notice 2, Fast and the Furious, Scorpion King, Trip to Unicorn Island, Faster, The Mummy Returns, Pain and Gain. I've heard that's good.
Also really good.
Haven't seen it. Free Guy, haven't seen it.
That's pretty good.
Furious 7.
That's fantastic. Actually, I don't even know which one that is.
The Mummy, Gridiron Gang.
That's good.
Planet 51, Be Cool, Race
Be Cool was good.
to Witch Mountain, Doom, that was awful. Snitch, Jungle Cruise 2, Fighting.
Leave the sequels out.
Fighting with My Family, The Other Guys, DC League of Super Pets. I like them. I like that
That's
movie.
right. That's probably your favorite Rock movie.
Yeah, he's in Shazam. No.
Is he not?
Did we find one that you liked? You just didn't realize it had The Rock in it?
I don't think he's in that movie. Hold on, and then Get Smart, Empire State. Is he in Shazam?
Well, I should be able to click on it. If is it just a tag at the end? Is that all it is? Because I know, like Fast 10, he's in the burner after the credits. That's it.
Oh,
yeah, Stinger rather.
and I didn't hate Fast and Furious that much. It's just not in my wheelhouse. Plus, I can't stand all the kids that really enjoyed it and spent all that money and just
Tuna no crust,
just fart around in there.
and they're beat up 12-year-old or 20-year-old Mitsubishi Eclipses.
It's a 15-second car.
Yeah, well, you can buy an 8-second car now for $20,000, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's not showing. Like he's on that list, but he's not showing up.
So I really like Ballers.
I've never watched that show.
That was
it's
good.
Now I know it would be tough for you because it's all sport related,
right?
But it's more about like the contracts and
Yeah, I've heard that was good.
We love sports, and we don't care who knows.
But yeah, Ballers was really good, and it was like he's playing a ex-football player that has like an alcohol problem, a sleeping around problem, maybe some opiates in there too.
Oh,
so
it's pretty true.
All checks out.
Well, anyways, so The Rock was in Red One, but I don't think it's gonna make the Christmas list.
No.
Unlike Christmas Vacation,
Which is great.
which I have to say, as a 48-year-old man, boy, it's different watching those movies as an adult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I definitely understand the frustration. And why the fuck would you want all of those people at your house? Good old-fashioned family Christmas, my ass.
Yeah.
Somebody took, that rant he does after the jelly get. He says, "Hallelujah, holy shit, where's the Tylenol?" Somebody took that and auto-tuned it. It was fantastic. And of course, I watched Christmas Story.
Yeah.
It was on TV, so I watched it. But Kelly and I watched some just silly movies. I think I'm missing one. We watched Tropic Thunder.
Great.
I don't think you like that, do you, Bobby?
I don't.
Big ass titties.
Yeah, I wanted to. It was during the era of like really funny movies.
I'm the dude.
Man, the dude. I know. I know it.
My favorite role in that movie is Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise might be my favorite role in that movie also.
It might be my favorite Tom Cruise performance of all time.
Yeah, it might
Les
be.
Grossman.
Lestat might have it.
Yeah, maybe.
I enjoyed the. I don't know the name of it. I just know the sound it takes when it. The sound it makes when it takes a man's life.
I don't even remember.
Oh, was that the fake Vietnam? And he pulls his fuck. I forgot about it. He pulls off his hooks. He's like, "I was just a cook" or something like that. It's a love letter.
It was just one of those movies that like came out during that era. Like The Hangover was that for me too, where like it just came out during the funny era. The commercials looked funny, and then I saw it and I didn't actually laugh all that much. Didn't think it was bad. Just like, man, this isn't that funny.
What else did we watch? So we watched Interstellar.
It's a great movie.
10 years old, by the way, if you didn't realize that.
I did actually.
They did a theatrical rerun of it. Mm-hmm. So fucking good.
It is good.
Like that movie, and so much you catch every time you watch it.
Yeah.
It's like, now that you kind of know what's going to be happening, you just see these little things. And
such an interesting robot design.
Horrifying. Like
Yeah.
I think that's the most horrifying like AI robot in any fiction ever.
Yeah.
Just the box with legs.
Yeah.
So I've fallen down the rabbit hole of listening to like DeGrasse Tyson and who's the physicist that worked on Interstellar?
I got a feeling I may not know that the name of that scientist.
He's a famous physicist, but he so
All right, who's your Mount Rushmore physicist? I'm kidding. I don't know if I can name a single one.
well, Oppenheimer,
Okay. This guy.
right? He's got to be the number one.
All right. And then this guy from.
Yeah, this
Neil
guy.
deGrasse. I know Neil deGrasse Tyson, but he's not a physicist.
No.
Is that what he
I don't
is
think
by?
so.
No, well, I mean, I think that he would call himself like a galactic astronomer or something like that.
I listen to his podcast with Chuck Nice a good bit.
Yes,
Like,
I mean-
well, I don't listen, but I watch the clips on YouTube. I don't really listen to the long form of it.
So they interviewed, and normally I would remember the name of him. I would know more physicists.
You don't have your Palm Pilot with your list?
Because I've got my phone open for things for. But So he was involved in the writing of it, like the original storyline, in order to make sure that
The science worked.
the science was as close to reality as possible, so that, because that was their whole point, was to make a science movie that might be on the fringe of like where we are as a race
Human race.
the human race, to figure it out, so to get people back interested in this kind of stuff. So like they were talking about the big planet, right?
The one they go to?
Gargantuan.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
It's been a
the
while.
black hole.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
gargantuan.
But that planet that's like orbiting closely, and the time
Yeah, the 7 hours and 7 days for 1 hour.
that it's physically possible for it to be that close in a stable orbit.
Yeah.
And he did the math on it, and it was like a really interesting, like 2 hour. I can't remember who. I think it was DeGrasse Tyson that interviewed him on it, but it went through all the major plot things, and to figure out like how to make that science actually be close.
There's something else too. Like I see in one of those like reels or TikToks or something where it's about the music and how the music, the time signature of the music is also in sync with the time.
I believe it.
Like shit, like it's all
awesome.
purposefully done.
Yeah. And been working on a couple 3D print model kits, a big like army kind of truck thing and most of the stuff is made for RC, so like you could glue it together, but it's all like cap head screws and stuff. So actually for Christmas I got a little electric screwdriver, which has been fucking clutch putting that together. And I love 1/12 scale, 10 scale vehicles, and was just browsing the internet night before last, and saw somebody put up a model for a fucking Crown Vic in 12 scale, 10 scale, something. I'm like, fuck yeah, $10. I've already got the motherfucker printed.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it's this big, and then he has a taxi option and a cop car option. I'm like, fuck, I might print 3 or 4 of these damn things.
Just start pulling each other over.
Yeah.
Giving warnings.
So I've got my Vin Diesel custom figure, which I found out Vin actually stands for vehicle identification number. I didn't realize that. So it's vehicle identification number Diesel is his actual name.
I mean, I'm glad they shortened it up, because that'd have been a lot to say.
It would have been.
Can you imagine if you had to fill out like a Scantron where there's
It's like,
oh god,
like people that go by 3 names. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Really, dude?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I know. Yeah,
fair.
Yeah. And then I tried to play Cyberpunk. So okay, I got introduced to. I know what Steam is. I've used Steam to play games before, but you can have a family share thing with Steam. So Mason, my oldest, has, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 games on there.
Is that where you realize all the money went? You get in there, you're like, oh my god.
Well, a lot of them are like $10 to $15 games, and this is years worth. But I had actually bought my son Cyberpunk a year and a half ago, and he doesn't like first person, so he couldn't really, and it makes him nauseous, so he's like, I can't play it. I'm like, fine. So I tried to play it on my laptop, and my laptop just is not. I have a gaming PC, but it's 3 years old, and it's, sorry, it won't handle it.
That's why I can't get into gaming PCs.
Well, so my wife has a proper PC, a gaming PC that she bought same time I got this laptop, and it'll run Cyberpunk pretty well. I mean, it's a 3 series card, and the 5s are about to come out, so... Anyways, I had Joey come over, Sunday, and help me set up mods for it, because that's one thing. This game is like, you can it's been modded to death. I had no
Is it
idea
an open world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk's an open world. So put some mods in. It took forever. There was like one thing. I want a New Game Plus, which New Game Plus is you finish the game and you can start it over with everything you've acquired. I just thought, because I'm super overpowered in this game right now, I'm like, oh, I'll just be able to mow through this. But to download that, you had to download, like, I want to say it was between 60 and 100 other mods that this was built on. So Joey was at the house for like 2 hours, and we actually didn't even all download, because there was one mod that was required for the New Game Plus that is corrupt. But it changed a lot. I mean, it's a lot of little things. Like, there was a mod like the pool ball in so-and-so's house is now the correct round shape. I'm like, who the fuck noticed that? Anyways, and I started watching The Expanse again.
Wow.
Are you familiar with The Expanse?
I'm not.
Well, if you like there's a lot of science in this. It's a sci-fi show, and I could say it's hard sci-fi, but not nerdy. Like, no offense to people who like Star Trek, the way they present that, it's like, well, actually, if you turn on the third hyperdrive, you can get to the.
Or like, I actually speak Klingon.
Anyways, I'm watching it again.
That shit is a bit much. The motherfuckers, like, you know.
Well, I mean, there's people are the same.
Dude, if you don't go
I don't mean to make fun of anybody.
If you don't go get an application
really
that Hallmark gives us.
But I say this every time I mention it. If you like sci-fi, and this does have some pretty sci-fi elements in it, but the science of it all is super fucking
What's
grounded.
the premise?
So it's set 300 years in the future. Mars has been colonized. Earth is one entity now. There's one government.
I love that for us.
Yeah. So it's the UN, and then Mars is the MCR, Martian Congressional Republic, and
Commies.
not quite. Their goal is to terraform Mars. So there's people now that were born on Mars that are Martian. They're people from Earth, and then we have the Belters, which are people who are mining in the asteroids for
Filthy fucking belters, dude.
Listen, we're not going to have that kind of talk around here, okay? They actually call them skinnies.
Oh, even worse.
In the books, these people, they were elongated and tall. Well, they couldn't cast, they didn't call me. They didn't cast a bunch of 7-foot tall people for this space show. It was.
Is that because they were born in space?
Yeah, and their bones are brittle.
That's really cool.
There's a whole lot of shit like that. Like, one of the main characters, Naomi, they're going to a planet. She's never been to a planet. So she has to do all this just to exercise and take all these bone density treatments, and it ends up not working. She has to go back up to the ship while they're down on the
She's like walking around and breaking toes.
Well, yeah, just this constant pain. The weight of the world is literally crushing her. So
I like that. Where can I find it?
it's on Amazon Prime,
Okay.
which I need to pay the extra $3 a month because god damn those ads. That's something that's killing. I don't watch a ton on Amazon, but that's there. The show originally was on Sci-Fi for 2 seasons, and they canceled it. And Jeff Bezos basically saved it and finished it on Amazon. There's 9 books. They've done 6 seasons representing the first 6 books. There's like a 30-year time skip to the last 3 books, and those I've listened to those books, and the story just goes bananas. Like there's a supernatural entity that's involved in this whole thing, but it's definitely worth the watch. Bobby tried to watch it, but Bobby doesn't like things. So
Yeah, I couldn't get into it. That doesn't mean it's bad. Just couldn't
it's
get
well
into
done. It looks great. Like it's almost 10 years old now, but like graphic, like animation wise, everything's fucking crisp and sharp. And like they have to do, they're going from point A to point B. They do have something called, and this is before everything happened. It's called an Epstein drive. It's basically
I bet they do.
It's hyperspace-ish.
They put kids into the generator and then they go.
Yeah, I think that's actually those belters dirty.
But you had to first rub the feet of the belters. That's where it starts.
With the baby, is this how the baby oil? Is that what powers the fusion reactor?
That's the
did you
Diddy
watch
reactor.
that? Did you? Yeah, that's the Diddy reactor. Did you watch the Epstein doc? It was like,
I don't need to know anymore.
So all those women they had, like they all told like the exact same story. They're like, all started off me getting a job or whatever. He comes in, he's like, hey, you've been working all day. What do you say you take a foot rub? You ever had a foot rub? And like all these women, all this shit with him, all started with him rubbing their feet. Well, I've given 100 different ladies 100 different foot rubs, but they've all meant something.
Never threw another motherfucker off a balcony.
Well, there's not a foot rub I can recall in The Expanse, but hey, give it a try. Let me know what you think. The first season is really good. My only one that drags a little bit is season 4. The rest of it is just action packed and character development and interpersonal dynamics. I try to sell this show to anybody that'll. 6 seasons, it's done for the moment. There's books, there's comics that expand the story.
Expand the expanse.
They do. It's an expansion pack.
It sounds expensive.
And I'm mainly going to say this because I want to hear it. But tomorrow, I take my family to Dulles, to Flatomobile, Alabama.
Oh, dude,
Alabama.
Thank you.
Oh,
Exact one I wanted. To see my wife's mother and sister. For those that don't keep up, my wife's father killed himself earlier this year. Last year at this point, for those listening in the future. And prior to that, my wife had not spoken to her side, that any of her family other than her brother in 10 years because of a blow up we had back when we lived in Alabama. So this is going to be an interesting trip, to say the least. I hold no grudges or animosity towards anybody. I'm here to support my wife in any way possible. But my main goal is to blow up, then act like I don't know nobody. One of my main goals is one day I'm just going to drive. I'm leaving. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to see what the fuck I can find in South Alabama.
Just make sure you got a full tank of gas.
You think so?
I think so.
What about a full magazine?
Nah, it's just in my head. You might come across like, you're getting on E, and I'm getting stressed out thinking about it. Like you can't find a gas station anywhere.
Well, I want to find a town that has a gas station, a Waffle House, and a Dollar General, and that's all that's there.
Sounds like heaven.
Because I think I could plant some roots.
Sounds like
we could build a compound down there.
And I'd have to throw in a bar for me.
That's fair.
But I'm down with waffle.
There probably would be a bar there. Like I'd imagine there'd be.
I don't know if they have dry counties or not.
They do.
Yeah. So.
It's funny. A lot of people don't understand that concept. Like I've dealt with, like when I was running my wrestling show, I had some guys that traveled in for a show, and they're like, "Hey, can we get some beer for after?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can get somebody to run up to Tennessee and get you some." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "This is a dry county." Like, what does that mean? Like, they don't sell alcohol in this county at all.
We don't even have water.
Yeah.
Dry.
So, I mean, the stupid thing.
Listen to me rub my hands together.
We don't even have lotion.
Yeah, have you guys ever dealt with a dry county before? So whereabouts was that for you?
It was somewhere in Georgia.
In Georgia, okay. Well, same thing. Yeah, blue laws down there still.
Well, I mean, like, so we have blue laws still in this state.
What are the blue laws here in Maryland? I'm not familiar.
Baltimore County does not have liquor stores open on Sunday.
But Baltimore City does.
Baltimore City does, but
in every other county.
So the bars are open on Sunday, and a lot of those bars have carry out. But the actual liquor store, just the store itself,
the ABC store, the controlled by the No,
they're not controlled.
No, that's right. So right now, I think they're trying to put beer and wine into grocery stores in Maryland, and all the liquor store owners are like, "This is going to kill us."
It's some counties. I didn't know it was the whole state, because like Worcester County on the Eastern Shore does have beer and wine in.
I believe that's a sauce.
Worcester. Well, it's Wash Your Sister sauce.
Oh, okay.
So that is
Worcester County.
Is that on the water though? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Well, and it's also because so many people are in Ocean City.
Yeah.
And then there's like two real liquor stores.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why they did. Yeah. So yeah. So, I mean, I remember a county over from where I grew up, Madison County, which was a wet county.
My favorite.
And when I lived in Limestone County next door, guess where we went to get beer? At the fucking state line. It was called State Line Liquors.
Well, the thing that kills me is the places that, like the state controlled. So Virginia.
The ABC stores.
That's bullshit. Because it's like I'm going in. I want to pick up like a bottle of tequila to make margaritas, and then I want to get a 12-pack of Corona.
Right.
2 fucking stores.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's fucking crazy.
So in Alabama, it's always been gas station, beer, or anything beer, Mike's Hard Lemonade, any of that kind of shit. 4 Locos. Back when it meant something.
Good old days.
Drank 2 4 Locos, and I somehow mowed my grass at midnight.
That shit would fuck you up,
dude. Those original ones, like 2 of them for me, I was in another world.
Used to be Charlie's drink of choice.
I wasn't drunk. I don't know what I was, but I was like, whoa.
It's like speedballing.
Yeah. So in Alabama, like every liquor, you'd go if you wanted hard liquor, you had to go to the liquor store. But they also sold beer and wine, whatever. Gas stations, most grocery stores. I remember when I was working at the Piggly Wiggly, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna get liquor. We're getting wine, and we're not getting liquor. We're getting wine and beer." I'm like, "Oh, well, this will be interesting." But on Sundays, you got 4x8 sheets of plywood, and you fucking lock that shit up.
That's crazy.
It is. In Coleman County, I don't know if it's changed now. Like you couldn't open most businesses till noon.
Oh, on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Like I worked at auto parts, and you couldn't open the parts.
Yeah. Fucking Puritans.
So that's pretty much my review.
Catch it. Farrell.
All right, so while I was with my family to celebrate Christmas.
Now, Farrell, I'm pretty sure everybody that listens knows the majority of our family dynamics. Would you mind giving us a brief rundown of your family dynamic?
So, I blocked my mother years ago, so we don't have to worry about that side.
Fair.
So this is my dad.
You know what you need on that side of the family to get back together? A good suicide. Is that too much?
No,
Not for me.
If it was her, it would work out perfectly. And I still don't think I need any of the others, so it's fine. So my father and my stepmother have 3 kids together.
Are you older than all of these? I'm assuming.
Yeah. So my sister told me we were having coffee or whatever, and she goes, I said, well, like picture this or some just use of the common phrase, and she says, well, I can't. Oh no, she was drawing on my phone and using like the AI interpret, so you sketch something and hit AI, and I was like, is that what you were picturing when you drew that? And she goes, I can't picture anything.
What?
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So she put me through this test, and I can't either.
Really?
Okay, we got to do this test.
Yeah.
What's it called?
So it's called aphantasia.
Like the singer girl?
Yeah, aphantasia.
Do I have aphantasia? Is this is it the Haywise test? Is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah, so I can just read this off to you if you want.
Yeah. Let's just do that.
So if you close your eyes, right, and you picture an apple, what do you see?
So I see the red shape of the apple, the stem, and a couple leaves on the stem.
Okay.
I don't have any leaves, but I have a red apple sitting on a plain table. Okay. First thing comes to mind.
So it's a scale. So 1 is it's perfectly realistic as seeing an actual apple.
In my mind, it is, yes.
Right. 2 would be it's realistic and reasonably vivid, and there's also a degree of you being able to hold the image in your mind. Right. So some people it goes in and out and stuff like that. 3 is moderately
fucking apple.
realistic. 4 is dim and vague, and 5, which is what I am, is there's no image. It's you only know what an apple looks like, but you don't physically see it.
That's interesting.
So I would say that mine is not vivid. I would say it's closer to dim and vague.
So I've talked to multiple people,
and that's all the test is. That one instant.
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes beyond, and so there's varying degrees under each level. But I've talked to people that say that when they listen to an audiobook while driving, that they see the things in the audiobook playing like a movie in front of them, like almost.
I do not.
Looking through the movie to seeing the road that they're driving on.
Right. I do not.
To an extent, I mean, obviously, I try to. If I'm driving's probably not a great example of zoning out and imagining this book, but I listen to plenty of audiobooks and I can visualize what's happening. Especially if it's something like if it's Star Wars, for example, I can definitely.
But I'll tell you, most of the time,
what it is.
I think I probably could if I was making an effort to, but I think most of the time I'm taking it as like you just telling me a story. Like just like you say, you went down to the Piggly Wiggly to get a beer. I don't imagine you going into the Piggly Wiggly and getting a beer. I just process the information.
But what if you had been to the Piggly Wiggly that I have in mind? It doesn't exist anymore,
right? Like the tornado,
because I'm from Alabama and the tornado destroyed the Piggly Wiggly.
Alabama.
Amen.
Yeah, I think that. I think I probably could, like you've talked about the tornado hitting the TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
And I'll see that in my head, like I'll see the TJ Maxx.
Because you've been there and you can visualize it.
Yeah. I have. It's funny. I have this I think sometimes I can, but it's funny because with the Apple, I don't feel like it was like almost like I was imagining the concept of it more than actually, seeing it the same way I'm seeing this computer, right? Like I'm imagining it in my head, but it's like a shape. It's like a I sound like a madman, but it's like a definition of something in darkness.
Bobby, could you, not being in this room, if we're sitting upstairs, could you close your eyes and go through everything you have to do to set this up?
Yes.
Okay, and you can see, like, I need to press these buttons and these buttons.
Did you see it, or did you just know it?
Yeah,
or know it.
Yeah, I think I just know it.
So when I close my eyes and picture something, all I see is the back of my eyelids. And I can recall details that I know are there on an apple, right? But I don't see shit.
I got to sit down and really fuck with this test now.
It blew my mind.
Yeah.
That motherfuckers are walking around with their own Netflix, and I'm in my room jerking off to darkness and the idea of nipples.
Darkness, the statue.
So I have this thing where I had this like idea for a comic book, right? And
call it The Darkness Jacks Off.
No.
The idea of nipples,
and it doesn't have a name. But the main characters is like this young girl, this dog, but the dog is like a oversized dog. So like it's like she comes up to like she's probably like 8 years old, and the top of her head comes up to like the bottom
like
of
a
its
giant wolf
shoulder.
kind of dog or something.
Yeah, but
it's Clifford. This is a Clifford remake.
Yeah. And then there's like a robot. And anyway, it all involves this like planet where like the wealthy of the planet have gone to the moon. Like they've colonized the moon, and the peasants have to just continue to live on Earth and make sure that the shit gets done to keep the moon good to go.
Oh, fuck that moon.
Yeah, so the moon is actually like tethered to the planet now. In this world I mentioned, but I go through the first panel of this, like the first page of this comic in my head to go to sleep sometimes. Because like I'll start thinking, I'll focus on it, and I'll start thinking about like where to take the story, and I end up just falling asleep. Whereas usually I can't focus when I'm trying to go to sleep. But when I imagine that, like I can imagine it vividly, like the blades of grass and everything else. But yeah, I'm going to take the test.
You know what I think about when I'm laying in bed ready to go to sleep? Titties.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Put you out to sleep? I don't know why.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I ever think about them.
Like, oh wow, okay.
Cold dead hard.
No, like I definitely think about sex, and sexual encounters and exploits and fantasies, but it's never just like titties.
Obviously, my mind wanders constantly.
Right. But I don't think I ever.
It's just I just started doing that the past couple of weeks. I'm like, titties.
My wife sometimes, like I told this before, but like we'll come out of a store sometimes. She's like, that girl had a huge rack, or like I said it, like her tits were huge, and I like didn't notice.
Yeah, I would have
didn't notice, but I might be able to draw her fucking butt cheeks for you.
There you go,
in detail.
Nothing wrong with that.
To include like the branding of the clothing that I've never even heard of, but I know now.
I guess Bobby's a butt guy.
I like butts, hips, legs. Like, and I celebrate the entire catalog.
Yes,
don't
I
get
was
me
about
wrong.
to say that, Michael Bolton.
But that is like if a woman is wearing like a club dress, I'm gonna notice the bottom features before I notice the upper features.
Yeah, most of the time I don't pay attention to the face.
So you hate to see her go, but love to watch her leave. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Honky tonk, badonkadonk.
Yeah, but also like just the front hips and legs, and like I like definition, like not scary definition, but like specifically in a calf. Like I like a little bit of definition in a calf, and I'm not really a big muscle definition person with a girl. I like a woman's body to be soft. My life's been hard enough.
Fair.
But yeah, I mean, I could take a deep dive into this. But.
Yeah, so like, Christmas was fine for me. It's fine. So like this year is probably the first year that my family finally did what I've been telling them to do for like the last 8 years. So it used to be like we show up a day or two before Christmas, and then everybody's kind of hanging out, and you do the whole Christmas morning thing, and then they would go to like watch a movie on Christmas Day because that's like the only thing open.
Right.
But it's like there's 4 of us kids that are all adults, and
You got guys that live pretty close, all of you.
they all live by Dulles.
Bless up.
So,
Bless
well,
up.
actually,
I'll honk when I drive by.
one of them lives in Georgia now, but he comes back, flies into Dulles.
Bastard, poor bastard.
The other 2 live in like Fairfax County, Virginia. But anyway, so it's always been like we show up, and then everybody kind of does their own thing, like separately, and then comes back. But it's not like a huge house, so it's just very weird that people like take corners of the house for themselves. And I'm always like, I'm just here to see you guys. So the fact that you guys want to have fucking alone time right now is like,
Right.
I'd rather not be here if we're gonna have alone time, but I don't want to have to drive an hour and 15 minutes back just to take a break.
Right.
So we finally we just came in, on a Saturday, had dinner together, did the short little gift thing, had some drinks, everybody went to sleep, had brunch the next morning, disband. It was like,
And not on Christmas.
no, the weekend before. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Right. It's everything I've wanted.
Did everybody enjoy it?
I think so.
Good.
Yeah. But then other than that, just,
Regular schmegular.
yeah, just,
So I've done a lot. I've been off work for a while.
yes, you have.
So let me see what I can find here. All right. So I watched some shit. I watched Blackberry.
Man, I've had that on my list to watch for so long.
So it's good.
I love Glenn Howerton, the guy who plays the bald guy.
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
He is good. It could have been, I feel like it could have been 2 movies almost.
Really?
Like the guy who actually created the Blackberry, like the Silicon Valley type
Mr.
guy.
Berry?
Mr. Berry himself.
Mr. Black and Mr. Barry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a collaboration.
Collaboration. The thing about it is he goes from like Silicon Valley tech geek to like corporate, mogul asshole.
And this is the bald guy, right?
No,
this is somebody else.
this is
in it?
yeah. The bald guy's just the business guy.
Gotcha.
So anyway, I felt like his transformation was a little like instant, like almost like you kind of check out with him for a while, and when you
Convert, not transform.
yes, and when you check back with him, he's like this different person almost. And I guess there is a little bit of it, like the transformation, but like I felt like I needed to know more about him, like why he started changing, how he started changing, how it affected people around him. Like there's just, it's good. It's the best way of my origin movies. I put it second. I goes Tetris, this, and then the Jordans one would be my pecking order of it. But it's worth seeing.
Do you think it's more? I mean, the what's the name of the Jordan one?
Air.
Maybe it's not very truthful. Like
So
I
to be
didn't
fair,
know how the BlackBerry. If you
so I don't know. Okay. I don't know like the only one that I know is kind of like surprisingly truthful is the Tetris one, and the only reason why I know that is because somebody checked it out and then watched some documentary about it and wrote us one time and was like amazed at how close it was. But I don't know anything about the real life stories for any of them. I'm just judging the movie.
Gotcha.
And but basically like it's the the iPhone killed it. And like but like the all of that, like when
Does
the
it
iPhone,
tell it all into that?
yeah,
It goes that far.
and like when the iPhone hits and the way they respond to it and everything, and like it is kind of like interesting to see, anyway, it's a good movie. I recommend it.
Did you guys rock the Blackberries at all?
I did not.
The first one I ever had was their first attempt at a touchscreen.
Oh,
Which it was weird, like you had to literally press it, the button, the screen, like had a click to it.
So
I took it back.
Oh, so that was the most bugged. I think it was the most bugged product of them, and it was the first one that they had built and assembled in China. And he had been one of his things was he wanted it built domestically. Like it was like a big thing, like the standard of quality control. He was like, as soon as you start outsourcing the shit, you start to lose something. And they couldn't keep up with iPhone. In order to make ends meet on this new touchscreen that still had the click of BlackBerry, they had to outsource it, and they were all a fucking disaster.
Yeah,
like,
I kept it about 2 weeks and took it back.
Well,
they talk about the majority of people returned it within X amount of time. Like you were not alone.
The U.S. government is what kept BlackBerry alive at the end.
Because they were using it still for government
because they were
phones.
using the servers. So for
I guess it was supposed to be more secure.
semi-secure email.
Yeah. So that was actually an interesting bit. I watched Nosferatu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the other Nosferatu?
I have not.
I've seen the other two. I haven't seen the new one yet.
I have not. So I got to talk about it. I'm going to try to. Some of it might be a little spoilery.
Well, he's a vampire.
Yes.
What?
Surprise.
Yes. No, you're like, God damn it! You just throw the mic.
Oh, damn it, Bobby!
So I'm gonna. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
And
which on normal human scale is an 8.5. Right. Bobby's always a 1.5 off the average.
So
at minimum,
Laura gave it an 8.
Fair. Okay. Laura's more grounded, I think.
So I'm going to tell you exactly why I detracted points. Okay. First of all, I think it's good. I think it's a good movie. Right.
If you said a 7 was bad,
yeah,
I would start wondering.
Yeah. I think it's a good movie. I think I recommend
just wait till Joey's here when we talk about the ABC.
Oh yeah, I guess it's touch and go, but it's beautifully shot. The acting is great.
Willem Dafoe in it?
Yes, he's the Van Helsing character. Et cetera, et cetera. It's also a very horror take on the kind of Dracula story, which is an interesting thing to see. It's not like a love movie, or it's not a romance movie or a drama with this like kind of supernatural thing.
It's not romanticizing vampirism, I'm assuming.
At all. It is a capital H horror
Does
film.
it really properly show that it's a tragedy?
So, I guess, but I would say that Dracula does a better job of showing the tragedy. So let me tell you where my take points off of. All right, so I detracted 1 full point for
didn't stick the landing.
There's a connection. There's a connection that the main female character has with Orlok, which is the vampire. They are connected, but they don't really explain why they're connected. They say that like when she was a young person, she like called out to anything and he just answered it. But why?
Like on the phone?
Imaginary friend?
Yeah. Like it's just that didn't do it for me. So it's explained. I wasn't satisfied with the explanation. My second point that I detracted for it was spoilers, 99, 98. If you've seen the Nosferatu movies, sunlight is what gets him, right, in the end. And they say this like almost throwaway line of the Renfield character says it, where he's like, her blood is the one thing that he can't deny himself. Like, he can't pass it up for anything. So basically he feeds on her. It starts to become morning. And he like has this moment where he's like, oh shit, like started getting a little bright out there. I better head on back to the casket here, And she's just like puts his head back down to feed on her more. And he's just like, yeah, fuck it. And
That's pretty good.
it just feeds until he dies.
And the sun comes and hits him.
And then the sun comes and hits him. And it's like,
so was it that he loved this? Was it supposed to be an analogy for that?
Nope. Because they don't make any sort of connection to love. It's just this faded connection due to this call out answer. She called out to the universe and he's the one that heard it. And it just doesn't do a good enough job of explaining it. Like that in my mind, there's no way that monster doesn't wake up and go, oh shit, it's good. Look, I'll be back. Keep the blood warm. I'm coming back tomorrow.
Keep on pumping.
But those are my two. So I detracted a point for each. All right. Then we get into the half points. So I took a half point away because he talks very slow. And I have a hard time sometimes understanding him.
He's got all the time in the world, though.
That's fair. I had a hard time understanding him sometimes with the accent because he would like break up syllables. He'd be like, Chris, your microphone needs to
I'm lost already.
sit high.
Will you please stop? I don't like it.
And it's like my brain is trying to connect the parts that the syllables that are making up one word versus the one word syllables versus like I just had a harder time understanding him.
Is he just anti-punctuation?
It seemed that
It'd
way.
be interesting to watch that with subtitles and just see, do they drop the whole sentence at once and you're like 3 minutes later?
Like, I'm still.
He's more into punctuation. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, wow.
Now, Laura said she didn't have any difficulty at all. So kudos to her. Now, here's where I'm taking off the last half point. He had a big bushy mustache. And I didn't like it.
You didn't like the mustache?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Like he's like this ancient old vampire. His skin is like peeling away in some parts. Like he's monstrous. But this big, beautiful, bushy mustache is still kicking around. No problem. All that blood feeding you're doing, I don't buy it.
Just tickling.
Yeah, it's for the victim. It's soothing as a mustache
yeah.
rubs against them.
The old bristles.
Just like, stop.
Stop, you're scratching my neck.
So that's it. But I still recommend people see it. It's still good. It just wasn't. I was hoping for something great, and I don't know if I consider it to be something great.
So I heard a full point and 2 half points.
Correct. No, 2 full points, 2 half points.
So that was a 7 then.
Yeah.
No, 7 out of 10.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
All right. So let me continue. They did make him terrifying though, which I did like. All right. So I had a comment on a video.
Okay.
I don't remember what video it was, but they were like I think they agreed with my opinion or they disagreed with my opinion about something, and went on for a couple of sentences.
Surprising.
And then in the last sentence, they said, "But may I just say, you have an amazing voice, an amazing voice." And I was like, "Okay, thanks for the kind words." Go to my next email. Same person, different comment. "I'm currently masturbating to your voice."
Male or female?
Male. Oh, but none. That's 100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I almost contemplated.
Did you say
responding like enjoy?
Enjoy.
But then I was like,
should
am I
check
being
out
a bit cheeky?
Patreon. There's thousands of hours of me talking.
Yeah. So that was nice. And then we had I did have Christmas Eve here. I need to write myself a note as to what to expect for myself emotionally at Christmas Eve at this house now. Because I always forget. I always go in with like kind of like, this is going to be fun and I'm going to get fucked up and I'm going to eat great food, which it was great food.
Was it pizza?
No. But
Can't be that great then.
so yeah, taking pizza out of it, next best thing. So their family, they're not bad people. In fact, I think they're good people. But like, I am just not a part of their family. And
20 years in, you still feel that way.
Oh yeah. So like they'll not one person asked me a single question.
Maybe they're subscribers, so they already know.
But like not even like a how you doing. No, I think her uncle actually asked me, how's all that podcast stuff? And I was like, it's good. And he's like, all right. And that was it. No, he said, are you still doing the podcast stuff? Was it? And I said, yeah. And he said, okay. But it's just like, man, like, it just is what the fuck it is. And that's got to be okay, because that's just what it is. And like I said, they're not bad people. They're great grandparents. They're great parents to my wife, and, they do a lot to help us out. But like her sister, my wife's sister, has a boyfriend. They live together and stuff. They've been together for a while. Nice enough guy. And they've been together for like maybe 3 years, 4 years, maybe 5 years, somewhere.
Who's counting?
So, he's definitely the newest addition to the group.
They care more about
They
them.
love him. They love him. Like they spent.
Would they have loved 18-year-old?
So that's the thing. That's the thing is like if he had come into their lives when he was 15, who's to say?
Yeah.
But they talked to me about him. Like, do you know what he does for work? He scouts locations for big shows and just went on and on and on about it. And I'm like, cool. But it's like, why are you talking to me about this? It's just strange.
So you can't on one hand say they didn't ask me any questions, and then when they talk to you about something else that you
let me rephrase that. They didn't ask me any questions about my life. How's work? How are you? Anything new? How's your dad? How's your, you know what I mean? Like
right. Now, if you could go back, because they mentioned,
they might ask me some shit like, "Where's the ice?" Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you recycle?
So at least they're not ignoring you.
No, they're definitely not ignoring me at all.
If I clog the toilet, are you gonna?
Do you know where I can get a good bidet?
Actually, if you don't mind a 15-minute drive, you have a couple options.
Yeah. So I just need to remind myself as to what it's about. And I had this little epiphany, because I did start to get upset. And it is a reminder, right? Like my family, it's a family affair, right? And it's her parents and her uncle that come, and her aunt and uncle, and then their kids that come. And I don't have any, if it was a wedding, one side of the aisle would be very heavily populated, and then the other side of the aisle would be barren, right? So it's a reminder of that as well, right? So both things are happening simultaneously. But I had this epiphany, right, where I was I was outside. Laura took me outside because she could tell I was starting to crumble a bit. And she was like, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you doing this. I know it's completely thankless for you. You get nothing out of it. There's nothing for you to get out of it. Thank you for doing it. And which was nice to hear. But I was like, like an egg. Right?
I've heard of eggs.
All right. So imagine, close your eyes, imagine an egg. Can you see it?
Is it white or brown?
So you put an egg, right? You scramble it up. Right? Mm-hmm. You sunny side up. You put that motherfucker on a sandwich.
Or a cracker.
Or cracker.
What?
It's it's always an egg.
Mm-hmm.
So
it never hides itself from being an egg. You always taste the fucking egg. It all tastes relatively the same. It's just this fucking egg. Right?
Okay.
No getting. I was like, I think I'm an egg.
How long's breakfast? Okay. No, it's already done.
I was like, you can put me in this you can put me in this work environment. You can put me in this professional environment. You can put me in this a formal. What I mean by professional, more formal environment, like an opera or something. You could put me at this family dinner, but I'm always an egg. I can never blend in completely in a way. It was another realization that I had there at that moment. Watched all the Christmas movies and shit, Christmas Story, all that, continued. They're all still good. Let's see. People don't understand. Oh, so I did my end of the year videos.
Yes.
I realized that people do not understand what disappointed means. I do have 4 categories, right? Mm-hmm. Most disappointing figure of the year, most surprisingly good figure of the year, worst figure of the year, and then best figure of the year.
But you break those last 2 up into Transformers and non-Transformers.
Yes, well. I break them all. I break all 4 of those categories up. I do one video for each, one video for another, and then I do one of just my purchases. So this one Magic Square swindle figure was
that
disappointing.
the masterpiece?
Yes, was disappointing to me because it was the second figure released in the line, and the first one was better.
What was the first one?
Brawl.
Gotcha.
And the swindle's not bad. It's just not as good, so it was disappointing.
That's fair.
I had
Because
people.
you had an expectation, and I think that's what people don't understand is like the expectation.
Yes. I had people in all the comments telling me how it's a good figure, how they like theirs, what's wrong with me. And I was like, no. I think it's a good figure too. It's just not as good
I thought it was going to be a great figure.
as their previous release. And therefore, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm mad. I don't regret my purchase.
Right.
I'm just disappointed. So yeah, that was a bit frustrating. I was trying to think. I have this note in here. I was probably feeling it. And I wrote this.
So while you look,
Yeah.
so I made the last episode that I did. I decided I was going to start taking notes so that I would have more. And I just want to apologize because I thought we were recording this
January 30th.
on January 30th.
God, I don't know how I fucked that up. And then overlooked it multiple times.
It took me a minute to read. I was like, what? Hold on. Oh, and then you commented, Farrell, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
He goes, tomorrow is the 30th. I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah. You're like, it is the 30th of December. So, do you have? Let me ask you. I was going to ask both. I can ask both of you this. I know the answer to yours, but I'll ask it anyway. Do you wear pajamas to bed?
No.
Does your wife?
Yeah. Not necessarily pajamas, maybe a t-shirt and sleep pants, but like not proper like matching set pajamas. But she wears clothes to bed. Are you speaking like specifically?
I'm speaking about
like
pajamas, like the clothes that she wears to bed. Did she buy them in the pajamas section of the store?
she has some pajamas, but most of the time it's one of my old t-shirts and a pair of sleep pants. I'm in my fucking underwear. That's,
Well, so I think sleep pants qualifies pajamas.
yeah, you bought these. Somebody got you these Beetlejuice pajama pants for Christmas.
You
and
specifically bought it to sleep in.
I guess, but people wear them all day though. So.
That's true. And now
Down to the fucking.
So my
meth
wife
clinic.
does have several sets of proper pajamas, but most times she's in a t-shirt. And
I was wondering about that, like how many people in our age bracket are wearing pajamas.
I can't stand to wear anything when I sleep. Like
I'm
I
not a
wear
big
underwear.
fan
That's
either.
it.
I wear sleep shorts, a t-shirt sometimes.
yeah, shorts and a t-shirt.
I guess it depends on where I'm at too. Like when I'm in Alabama for my
Alabama!
next week, I might wear a t-shirt and shorts. Just I don't know what the sleeping situation. If there's 4 people in the room, I might keep my shorts and a t-shirt on, just so if I have to get up and pee, I'm not slanging and banging on the way to the
Yeah,
the bidetless toilet.
my wife is thinking about buying some pajamas, and I was just like, and then I got to thinking, I was like, I wonder how many people wear pajamas. So I actually sent it to my work group chat, the guys that I work with, and I was like, how many of you versus your wives wear pajamas? And it was all no's, no pajamas across the board, with one exception for sure.
Oh God, one of them wears.
So Nick's wife wears pajamas in the winter.
Oh, so but all the people at work are no pajamas.
Correct.
Okay, I thought you were saying one of them does. I was like, this. Ooh,
Wears a union suit with a flap.
Yeah, but the other one I didn't get a clear answer on. I did not get an answer as to whether or not DJ's wife wears pajamas. I didn't get a clear answer.
so it's an interesting question. I found that most women that I've slept in the same bed as are cold.
Yes.
That's why my wife wears something.
Yes.
Right. So they want to be wearing sweatpants or
Right.
sleep pants or whatever. And I am like, get this fucking cover off of me.
Yeah.
I am sweating. to death.
Yeah,
Let
same.
me hang a leg out. Get some air
Yep.
movement.
Yep.
That's what I
Big
do.
hang the leg out. I kick it out and then up and over. You ever do that move?
Touch the wall. Maybe.
Like a thump, thump. Kick it
The
up.
hook.
Yeah.
A hook kick.
So I have this note in here, and I'm just going to say it, but I know it needs context.
Well, let's just take it without and see what happens.
Yeah, let's see where it goes, so to speak.
So I think a conversation was happening with if your wife were to leave you or your husband were to leave you for another person, would it be a younger person, an older person, or a person the same age? And I predicted an older person. For my wife would want an older person, and I was right about that. And then
Define older.
And how do you know that you were right?
she was there when we were having the conversation.
Oh, okay.
And what?
How much old are we talking? Like
So I would say
20
60.
years. So here's something.
55,
Here's
60.
something to think about, and I'll give you a perfect
My wife has
example.
a thing for like a thing for older men, not like a sexual thing, but she just like she likes older men.
I'll just keep the gray beard then.
Well,
Hey,
I'll tell you something interesting about that kind of age gap. I have a person that I work with, a woman I work with who's my age, give or take a couple years, and her husband is probably close to 70. And last time her and I spent any time together, she was like, what am I going to do in 10 years?
yeah.
I'm going to have to,
My stepmom is in the same boat.
like my dad's only sister, her husband was 20 years older than her. Same thing. You're wiping asses and, you know.
I think my stepmom is 68. My dad is 84.
Yeah.
You know, like she has transitioned.
What's funny when you get to that
from
age, it's
lover to
caretaker. Yeah. I mean, look, at any of our relationships, I mean, that could happen to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or to Kelly
True.
tomorrow.
It's
You
true.
know, it was,
But anyway,
if I fell off if I have a bidet accident, you know, I get it too wet and
That'd be
slip
the
on the
worst
seat
thing possible.
and break my hip.
there you go.
if I get that in the group chat, like Pinkerton had a bidet accident.
So anyway,
Hey, mate.
in this conversation, I can't remember all the circumstances, but someone asked me, you know, how do you feel about hearing that? Like, how do you feel about her, knowing that she would be with like if she had to pick someone else, it would be an older person. And I was like, I'd let her suck Anthony Hopkins' dick right now.
A-hop. A-hop. That's what we call him, A-hop. As long as you can watch, right?
Yeah. You know?
Well, I'll tell you, every hotel I go in, there's that cuck chair. Just get Anthony Hopkins to come.
Hey, thanks for all the entertainment. You know?
You know, I don't know that I would want to actually be in a serious relationship ever again if something happened with
me
my
neither.
wife. Like if you want to come over and get busy, we can do that. I'll pay somebody to clean up around here and
Yep, I'm down to have a good time. I'm down to have a good time, but I don't
that's
want.
it.
I don't want another relationship.
So I'm only imagining because I don't have a wife.
Have you ever had a wife?
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
You're just a couple cats away from voting for Joe Biden, aren't you? What about all the crazy cat dudes?
Yeah, they don't talk about those enough.
We feel underrepresented.
Do you have a cat?
No.
Oh, okay. Missed opportunity.
So, like, to me would be if I broke the mold from what they normally want, that says more about the connection I have with them. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, normally you're not my type, but you are. So that says something more about that than, so that wouldn't offend me at all.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't bother me either. Like I think because I already knew, like she just has this soft spot for. I think she finds them adorable,
Right.
You know, and like, and to be fair, she's been with me. I mean, she deserves a more mature person. If something were to ever go left, she deserves to have the maturity. You know.
No way.
Yeah.
Bobby, there's no way that's true. as I'm looking around.
And this is, let me got news for you. This is one of the more mature things going on.
Well, I mean, you do have 4 action figures of yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's not my fault.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah, I guess so, in a roundabout way. And then we have a couple of notes that I wanted to get into. I don't know if you've even seen some of this, Farrell, but the one thing we got to talk about first and foremost, I feel like, is this fucking Superman trailer.
Yeah.
Did you watch it by chance?
Didn't we watch that?
No, we did not, because this is like it. I think we recorded on like anyway. This hit while we were off.
Okay.
What'd you think, Chris?
I liked the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Be honest. Please be honest.
It's 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn makes really good, silly movies.
Yep.
This can't be a silly movie.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm interested to see the take there. I think that they're going to have to do a lot of storytelling because, listen, I'm not up on my DC Comics. I'm not up on comics for shit since 1997, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I know the major players.
Right.
And there's like the dude with the T on his face. I have no fucking clue who this guy is other than I watched some recap video of the trailer.
Mr. Terrific.
Are you fucking serious?
I would call him Mr. T.
Mr. Terrific sounds like he works at the fucking male strip club on Tuesdays and has a loyal following of fucking secretaries that he delivers water to during the week. Mr. Terrific is a horrible name, but I'm just saying this to say the lay person that wants to go see this, a new Superman movie. All I know about Superman is the Christopher Reeves. And, there were some other really bad ones. Oh, and then Henry Cavill did it, and it was weird. So now I'm going to erase everything but Christopher Reeves because I think most people, like if you ask my mom and dad, hey, who played Superman? Christopher Reeve. They're not going to say Henry Cavill and Brandon Routh. Right. And they're going to have to do a lot of storytelling to explain who the fuck these people are. Because, yeah, we know who Lex Luthor is. We know who Superman and Lois Lane are, right? But, Guy Gardner, yeah. I mean, I know him because of the goofy haircut.
Yep.
And I'm thinking that part where they're showing, like, Guy Gardner and that little group, I think that's just going to... I could be horribly wrong. I think that's just a passing interaction.
So I hope
they're not in the movie. I feel kind of similar to you, but in the sense of like when I watched the trailer. So there's Superman, there's Crypto, yes, there's Lois, there's Paul Kent at least, there's the Justice Society, Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. There's a dragon at some point, and then there's people around the world kind of celebrating him. That's a lot of, so to speak, preemptive, so to speak. That's a lot of balls in the air to manage. It is, and my worry is that
more than 2 might be more hard to manage.
Yeah. And my worry is that maybe it's trying to do too much.
So that is but I am excited about it. I'm hoping that Mr. Terrific is the bad guy, and they explain why he's the bad or whatever. Sure,
he's the bad guy.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
So he's a good guy in the comics.
Okay, sure, I believe you. I have no reason. I am not going to read enough to discredit what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, I do say I like the look of the guy they got playing Superman. It works. Yeah, like him as Clark Kent. It works. Like they literally kind of look like 2 different people.
They do.
But, there's a trope in Superman that did we talk about this last time I was on? Maybe. I don't know. I crashed in the fucking farmland and nobody knows about it. That doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
In 2020, radar detected a drone crash in Kansas. So I'm interested to see if they do kind of a more modern take, or is this a Superman that's actually been here since the 50s, and this is just kind of where we are today.
Speaking of DC movies, I forgot to mention I started watching Joker 2. I got to the first song and I turned it off.
Yeah, same.
The first breakout song in prison, I was like, I'm not ready for this right now.
But it wasn't good enough
It wasn't good enough
to get me
to
through
get
it.
me through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
100%.
Did you see the clip? I think it was at the premiere. It was Joaquin and Lady Gaga and lip readers. He said something like that was fucking awful or something like that. She's like, what? The movie?
And apparently he's a big part of the reason why it's that way.
Joaquin is? What I read, the director just basically said, I'm going to do what I want. Fuck you and your universe.
So I think he had a lot to do with that too. I think it's a lot of what he wanted to do also. But I think it's both. And there's a meta thing to it that I've heard people say that I want to continue watching it just to have an opinion on it, but we'll see. You ever heard of a guy named Danny Tantrum? Well, he's a Texas-based noise artist.
Hang on. Is this a DC villain?
No.
Sounds like it would be.
It sounds like it would be.
Or does he work Wednesday nights at the schlong shop?
Well, he does work, and he does work nights. He performed in Austin, Texas at the Coral Snake alongside Schnizzing Out in Terminal.
I love schnizzing out. Is that when you sneeze and fall asleep?
However,
Or you sneeze when you're snoring? Or you sneeze while you're jacking off and it comes
think
out
that's what-
schnizzing.
However, their onstage antics may have rubbed the venue and some attendees the wrong way. During the performance, Tantrum appears to perch themselves up on a stool and proceed to channel their G.G. Allen. Attendees and venue staff were shocked to witness the solo noise act defecate on stage and then immediately consume it.
Whoa.
There is also a video of the act on Instagram below, posted by Tantrum. In the video, venue staff can be seen trying to somewhat intervene to stop it, but to no avail.
How do you intervene? Do you just tase them?
Do you think it was a gimmick or is it?
Finally calling for the set to be cut short. If you dare, you can watch the video via Instagram.
Yeah, I'm good.
But it has been removed. And it's seemingly not the first time that Tantrum is performing this act. A previous video of their Instagram features a similar shocking performance from several months ago.
So who's going to see that?
Are people going there expecting to see the shit eater, or is it just oh my god, I don't want to see this?
There's not much to that one. But yeah, looks like he shits and eats it. It's like his thing.
Maybe that's how he gets his superpowers.
Imagine if that was your thing.
Like, to get a superpower, you had to eat your own shit.
Well, that too. But just if they're like, do you ever heard of Danny Tantrum? Danny Tantrum. Guy that shits and eats it. Oh, yeah. Danny's changed of shit and eat guy. Yeah. I know that guy.
Imagine
that's his thing. They're shitting and eating it, right?
Imagine that's how you got off.
Oh, I'm sure there's people that do it.
I can't. Oh, God.
The only time I've heard of people eating their own shit is if they're fucking dope heads and they're trying to get the last little bit of dope that didn't.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. That's actually not that uncommon.
The Batman 2, speaking of DC, has been delayed to 2027.
I wonder if they're going to try to tie all this in now.
That's undoubtedly my guess. But it's crazy.
Shit eating?
Yeah. I'm telling you, Danny Thunder is going to be the new Danny Tantrum.
Yeah.
James Gunn. It's all James Gunn.
Batman's going to beat the shit out of him.
And then he's going to make him eat it. And but Batman doesn't know. It's I can't wait. I had corn for dinner last night.
Oh, God.
Ugh. It doesn't give any real reason other than it has been announced that it's moving back to October 2nd, 2027.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
You know why? I figured out possibly, Bobby.
Something was in the way.
God damn it, Bobby. Something was in the way.
But I also think that I could see them wanting to give Penguin a bigger role.
Absolutely.
And then,
Farrell, did you watch the Penguin show?
I did.
It's fantastic.
Great.
it was good. So David Ayer announces a break from social media after death threats.
I don't know who David Ayer is.
So he directed Suicide Squad. And he's also been kind of vocal that there's a Ayer cut out there of Suicide Squad. So for a quick bring everybody up to speed, Suicide Squad released their first trailer. The one
we're talking about, the first one.
Yes.
Not the Suicide Squad.
Correct. The very first Suicide Squad film. And in the midst of that trailer, there at the end of it, Joker has like a light that he shines down, and all that. Dark, felt good, had the I started a joke that started the whole world crying. Like it was good. And then there was a second trailer The second trailer, I think, had Queen music set to it, Bohemian Rhapsody, if I remember correctly.
I remember that, yeah.
But people fell in love with it. Like the general audience was like, this looks like great times. I'm in. So they brought in the guys that cut that trailer to recut that fucking movie. And when they went and saw the movie, Ayer was apparently displeased with the cut.
Ayer and his...
Yeah. So he's been saying ever since.
Did you pronounce it David Ayer? Ayer?
Is it Ayer?
Maybe it's Ayer.
It's Ayer. I don't know.
I think it's Ayer.
Okay, David Ayer.
But I could be wrong.
I don't know. So he said, if there's one thing I do know is that I can mispronounce somebody's name. So he said, he's been kind of vocal about like, look, there is a cut of this film that's my cut out there somewhere. I would love to see it one day. I don't know if we'll ever get the chance to see it. And it's kind of become like good tweeting fodder. But he said he's taking a break from social media following a series of death threats. The controversy started after he addressed his followers on X, formerly known as Twitter, on December 17th regarding their latest effort to promote his campaign. Their most recent trending effort coincided with the release of Creature Commandos, the first show set in the new DCU. The director said that this was an unintentional and politely asked his followers not to campaign for him on December 19th, that this was the day the first Superman trailer was to be released. So David said, I didn't realize James was dropping Creature Commandos when the last campaign hit. The new Superman trailer is dropping soon. I know there's intentions of another campaign for my version of Skywad? Suicide Squad. No.
Let me see.
My campaign of my version of Squad? Oh, Squad.
Oh,
okay.
He's trying to be clever.
Yeah. As filmmakers, I want to support each other's film, blah, blah, blah. So he's trying to stay out of the way of it, right? He said, I just want to publicly say it would be nice to stay far clear of Thursday for any campaigning. My bad.
You're good.
So, unfortunately, David Ayer's request did not have the intended effect. Indeed, many called him a traitor before threatening his life. This prompted a second post on X on December 18th in which he announced that he was taking a break from social media due to the vitriolic response. He also affirmed, where'd you go, fucking bloody Berkeley? He also affirmed his continued support for James Gunn and how much he was looking forward to Superman. He says, my lord, supporting another filmmaker is so contentious, I'm just lost at this point. When I was a kid, I had a nightmare childhood. My best friends were comic books. They helped me get through the blah, 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 blah. So basically, he just didn't want these people that were supporting him to do it on this one particular day. And then they were like, well, fuck you. You're not down with the fucking cause after all.
Well, that's all just really dumb. But,
yeah,
at this point, why don't they just put it out on Max and just say, hey, here it is. Shut the fuck up.
I don't know why.
If there's probably have to pay some people to do some stuff. And
also, when can we stop saying formerly known as Twitter?
I know.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that.
It's like...
Either if you call it Twitter, you call it X, nobody's going to... I think the world knows.
It's just synonymous now.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to keep adding syllables to our sentences?
And I had to like keep looking back at like shit like anytime somebody says X, I got to be like X. Oh yeah, right.
X gonna
Like,
give
I
it
got
to
to
you.
put those pieces together in my head, but I do get there.
So when you close your eyes and you think about X, what comes to mind?
DM.
Yeah, of course, DM. So there was another thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I also had a birthday. I had people come over. You came.
I ate so much food.
It was good.
I made myself sick.
It was a good time, good chill little vibe. It was nice to see everybody. And then that's it. So we got a couple questions.
How do you how would you ask a question?
Oh, good.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
So, and this is from Trey Fi. New Year's resolutions. Are any of you guys and gals a believer in the new year, new you, or do you just hope for the best and just let the year play out? And for those who believe that their birthdays are actually the new year, how much do you plan based on the change of another set of 12 months?
I've never heard that in my life.
I look forward to what's in store for. Yeah, I've never heard that.
It makes
either.
sense, but
yeah.
Wow, I have no idea. My work situation is going to change this week. Well, yeah, first of the year, and I don't know exactly what that is. It's like the worst covert op in the history of the world right now. But I don't have my resolution is to have a better 25 than a 24 because 24 has been rough.
24 has been rough.
Between medical issues and it's just, it's been challenging. It's been a very challenging year.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to change the date and hopefully something changes, but that's kind of silly to think.
Yeah. What about you, Phil?
More podcasting. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope to eat a few more pizzas.
Oh, I probably should try to eat a few less pizzas this year.
Maybe a
Jesus.
couple hot dogs.
A couple.
I had
Yeah.
5 yesterday.
I gotta get my eating under control. I know that for sure.
I that is one. I'm consciously after this trip going to try to pull my shit back together.
Same. And then I think that's it. I got to be better about health. I got to take better care of myself in general. Like
Just because you found out Laura would go for an
older guy. Yeah, I got to make sure I make it there.
Yeah,
you
there
know,
you go.
Then I can get the real payout. Let her unleash those demons. You know. But no, I want to be around, man. I got to drink more water. I just got to do like the regular shit. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really want to do.
You got a lot of changes coming with your Patreon and stuff this year, right?
Well, I've pretty much made them.
Done that already.
Yeah, yeah. So like, we're gonna see how that goes. I wanna like, there's some things down here in the basement I want to decide to upgrade. There's some upgrades I want to make here at the cool table. That I want to. The summer coming.
television.
Summer coming. Yep, televisions and that. I want to get it from the ceiling.
Did we talk about the idea that I had last episode on air? Or no?
Which one?
The mystery.
Oh, the mystery theater. No, we talked off air, but I'm down for that to like sit around and watch a movie and do a commentary.
Pinkerton's thoughts on that.
Oh, I'm down to do that. We just got to schedule it. That's the thing. That's the only challenge.
Yeah, and it's becoming more and more challenging. Let's see here, and then we have one from Todd R. Happy New Year. I think nerds. Hope everyone's holidays have been going well. Would you succumb to the One Ring and conquer the motherfucking world?
Yes.
Or puss out and toss it in the lava like a bitch Frodo? That bitch Frodo.
I'm gonna be the man.
Yeah.
I'm putting that.
Question.
I'm putting it on. But I'm putting it on my dick.
Oh
God.
Resides this motherfucker and.
I don't. I'll be honest with you.
embarrassed.
I don't. If all cards are on the table, I don't really understand the power of the ring, other than it makes you invisible.
Gives you a boner.
Do you?
I think it's all power.
But why does everybody just turn invisible when they put it on?
I don't know that.
Choose to do that. Let's look this up.
It's like every time Frodo puts it on, he just goes into like that wraith world or whatever. It's like nobody like puts the ring on and it's just like fucking,
laser beams out of it or something. I don't know. Maybe that's the world in which the power comes from.
Maybe it just seems like for all of Tolkien's like
You can dominate the will of other beings, whether they're wearing the rings or not, but only in proportion to the user's native capacity. Well, that makes even less sense. I don't fucking know. I don't know how lightsabers work either, Bobby, but
those at least I don't need to know how they work, but I get it.
Yeah, you know what
turn
they
it
do.
on and it's a sword made of really hot fire.
Hot fire. I learned that one.
But yeah,
I would use it for my own personal enjoyment.
So look, I'm going to be honest. I would do a couple of things, okay, and then I would get rid of it.
Sure thing. Oh yeah, that's how it would work. Nah,
Yeah,
you know
sure.
what? It's
Everybody
conquering
thinks
the
that.
world. It's not for me.
I'm
I've
tired
had
of
enough.
unlimited power. Somebody else have it now.
What? You sound like fucking Paris Hilton.
I don't know if I need. I don't know. It's just like the gifts. I don't know what I would do with it. Like
That's the
It's a gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
I would
It's like the Jelly of the Month Club.
I would will certain toy designers to make the characters that I wanted.
How would you? Here's the question.
That's how you would use unlimited power. Is I would get figures.
I would get my goddamn headmasters finished, and I would make it read.
World peace. Fuck that.
I'd make it read Coruscant Nights for me.
You know, make it.
So Bobby, if you had 3 wishes, they could do anything. So you would go toy designers.
So no, not when you put it like that. You first wish for many more wishes. Do you know what I mean? That's the.
I wish I had another wish.
Loophole to that. Loophole to that. But I think that like if in terms of like controlling people's will, like taking away free will,
It would get boring.
It would get boring.
It would.
And so I think I would just be like, put it in there, like, hey man, I want these.
Ride.
I want these couple figures. You know, let's get to work on these. You know, and then get them back out a little bit. So maybe have people sell me things for cheaper prices. I like good.
So the fact that you could have all the money, and you're like, no, I just want people to take an L on this one particular transaction.
I just go to like a Rolls Royce dealership and like be like, you're going to give me this for $5. You know,
would you then flaunt the deal to other people? Like, you know how much I paid for it?
Is this with the ring or the 3 wishes?
This is with the ring.
Well, yeah, that would be very handy.
You know, I'm just a real wheeler and dealer.
Like,
put it up on my.
At Vander Holyfield's house, I'll give you $28 in change for this house.
All nickels.
So would you rather have Jedi mind trick power or the ring? Based on what you're telling me.
Jedi mind trick power.
Okay, just don't use it on Toydarians. I don't think you run into many Wattos.
So I think I would. I would have
what
it.
I was thinking.
I would have it like if I use like force power because like, in the same thing, right? Like I don't feel like I'm like. Because you could just say with the ring, you just be like, you just give me this. You're going to just give me this Rolls Royce, right? Or whatever. And they would just give it to you. But I still want to have some sort of transaction. Like, I don't want them to go home empty handed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel bad. You know, their commission would be like a penny.
And I think commission's based on profit.
Yeah, probably. Right.
If it's like minus 142,000, they're not like, well, we'll just give them a penny just for his time.
This is how he's like, hey man, what's your commission going to be on this? I'm going to pay you that, and then I'm paying $28 for the truck.
Yeah.
That way I'm not putting you out, but fuck Rolls Royce.
There you go.
That would only last one time. And then
I only need it one time. I don't need a fucking fleet of these things.
No. I mean that like the first transaction, not for the.
Oh. Yeah, and then I would go down. Then you could just go down the street to Bentley. But by the time you get to like your third or fourth, you're probably just like, just give me my goddamn car, you motherfucker. And they see, and this shit just corrupts you.
Would you get a driver? For your big fancy cars?
A Rolls Royce, I would want a driver. For a Bentley, it's like.
But you can do whatever you want. Like you could get pulled over and you'd be like, you don't smell alcohol.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
I wasn't speeding.
Yeah.
Thanks for your weapon, officer.
Yeah, that is damn. It is like I think you'd have to like. There's no way it wouldn't turn everybody into
a monster.
A monster. I don't think there's anybody with like the moral fortitude to withstand, because no matter if you have the best intentions, you can't fuck around with that shit, right? Like it's like monkey paw shit.
I don't think people could resist either.
Yeah,
like the idea that it's a slippery slope, but I think even starting at the top, like there's no.
Yeah, I mean, even Frodo put it on a couple times. You know, had to do what he had to do. All right, so hopefully, no, but you're gone next week, aren't you?
We'll talk.
Okay, all right. Well, hopefully, all 4 of us will be together next week. If not, we'll play it by ear. That's how it goes. Shout out to Joey, of course, on assignment. Shout out to Phil on our. And you know what? I have something for Phil, and I forgot to give it to him, so to speak, on my birthday. But shout out to Phil for the notes and Twitter, and shout out to Dante on Facebook.
You mean X?
That's right, on X and on our notes. And shout out to Dante on Facebook. And with that,
moist thighs.
Tasty taint.
Tight dick player. Happy New Year.